Welcome to our another video. Today we'll talk about inflation. Why do we even want to discuss it? How and why does it affect our savings and investments? What is its purpose, and what types of inflation are there? We will cover all of this in today's video.
Inflation is an economic phenomenon that describes the increase in the overall price level of goods and services in an economy over a certain period. It is a process where the same amount of money can buy fewer things than before. As we mentioned in the previous video, today you can buy a hamburger for $5. But in 3 years, the same hamburger will be more expensive and sell for $6. As a result, your $5 will lose value over those 3 years.
Why should we understand inflation? Inflation affects all aspects of our lives, from how much we pay for food and energy to the state of our savings and investments. Understanding inflation helps us better plan our finances and prepare for future economic changes.
How does inflation occur? We primarily divide the causes of inflation into two types: demand pull and cost push inflation. Demand pull inflation occurs when people want to buy more goods and services than are available on the market.
I would like to buy 4 oranges.
I would also like oranges, but 8.
I only have 9 oranges, so I will raise the price because I have fewer oranges than people want to buy.
This was a simplified example of how demand pull inflation occurs. People have more money and want to buy more things. When demand exceeds supply, prices rise. For example, when the government invests heavily in infrastructure or other projects, the demand for construction materials, labor, etc. increases, driving prices up. Cost-push inflation occurs when the costs of producing goods or providing services increase. For example, if a war breaks out in the Middle East, it may raise oil prices, leading to higher transportation costs and production costs for products made from oil or those that require oil to create. This results in an increase in the prices of oil as well as the products derived from it. Another example is when employees receive higher wages. Companies may increase prices to cover these costs. An important type is monetary inflation, which is caused by an excessive amount of money in circulation. When the central bank prints too much money, its value decreases, leading to a rise in prices. Why would it do this? It is done to stimulate the economy, finance government spending, etc. However, all of this comes at the cost of increased inflation.
Inflation is usually categorized by the rate at which prices rise, expressed as a percentage. This classification helps distinguish different levels of inflation and their potential impact on the economy. Here's a basic overview of inflation by the percentage increase in prices. The first is creeping inflation, which ranges from 0% to 3%. This type of inflation is considered healthy and common in well-functioning economies. Moderate inflation encourages consumption and investment, as people expect prices to gradually rise, motivating them to spend and invest. Central banks, such as the European Central Bank or the U.S. Federal Reserve, often target inflation around 2% annually as an optimal level. The average person doesn't notice this kind of inflation significantly.
The second is walking inflation, with a rate of 3% to 10%. This level of inflation can already be problematic for the economy as it begins to affect the purchasing power of the population and market stability. People start noticing that prices are rising faster, which may lead to concerns and changes in consumer behavior. Companies may raise prices to offset rising costs, further driving inflation.
Next is galloping inflation, with a rate between 10% and 50%. High inflation creates significant economic uncertainty. The purchasing power of money declines rapidly, leading to a drop in living standards, as wages usually don't keep pace with rising prices. People may begin hoarding goods to protect against future price increases, worsening inflation further. Companies may struggle with planning and investments, slowing down economic growth.
The highest level is hyperinflation, with a rate of 50% or more. Hyperinflation is an extreme form of inflation where prices rise uncontrollably and dramatically. Money quickly loses its value, and people lose confidence in the currency. Under these conditions, economic activity may grind to a halt, as people and businesses stop using the currency for transactions and seek alternatives, e.g., foreign currencies or commodities. A historical example is the hyperinflation in the Weimar Republic in Germany in 1923, or in Zimbabwe in the early 21st century.
So why does inflation exist? Why do prices rise? And is it better to have mild inflation than none at all? Mild inflation can benefit the economy because it motivates consumers to spend, increasing demand and promoting economic growth. Higher nominal interest rates, which usually accompany mild inflation, encourage investment in real assets and contribute to long-term development and employment. Price and wage flexibility allows the economy to adapt more efficiently to changing conditions and maintain employment. Mild inflation also gives central banks room to lower interest rates and stimulate the economy. Moreover, it helps prevent deflation, which can slow the economy by discouraging spending and investment.
When inflation is too high, the central bank reduces it by regulating the money supply and interest rates. Through these methods, the central bank can influence inflation. Deflation means that the prices of goods and services are falling. This drop in prices can be harmful, as people and companies may start delaying purchases and investments if they expect prices to continue falling. This slows economic growth. People have less incentive to spend, meaning businesses won't perform as well or grow as they would under inflation, where people are motivated to spend. Additionally, deflation increases the value of debt, making it harder for borrowers to repay loans. This can lead to financial problems, lower economic activity, and higher unemployment.
Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.